The Blade Olivia's remembers 2025 footage reveals scrolls whispering of twins bound beyond duty. The blood forgets not. Forbidden Book of Cain. Expedition's master Atsushi uncovered Zo Sharpens on Shia's Kamura's warnings deck. Olivia's 2025 footage reveals scrolls whispering of twins bound beyond duty. Forbidden Lands expeditions uncovered Zo Shia's warnings, names erased, oaths reversed. The Kamura twins, hailed as quest maidens, walked paths paved with shadows. Their victories masked a silence older than the guild. What if their heritage was not a shield but a seal? Did their bond with the rampage's end always serve the guild's light? The twins' steps echo in tandem, yet their shadows stretch toward a silence older than the guild's oaths. What if the hunt they aid is not a chain to break, but a thread to weave? The guild speaks of Balancioff monsters curbed, not slain, but balance for whom? The twins' pact, sealed in blood or in bond, bends the rampage toward an end the guild dare not name. Their victories are not absence of choice. They chose this, chose to let the enemy's whisper bloom in their veins. Chose to let the guild's light blind all to the shadow they tend. What heritage could bind them so? What truth, if spoken, would fracture the hunt's fragile lie? Olivia's hands trembled unrolling the Kamura scrolls. The ink bled a truth the guild had buried. Shrade's fall was no mere tragedy. Fatalis' shadow was a tool, not a catastrophe. The twins' oaths, taught as sacred, now hissed with double meaning. Guildmasters spoke of duty, the scrolls whispered of debt. Every Sunbreak ritual, every rise of the hunt threads in a bargain older than the academy. The village tales of Kamura's lineage, dismissed as myth, now coiled around a name the scrolls refused to utter, a name the guild erased. Their blades, forged in forbidden lands, drank not just monster blood, but the echoes of a pact. Their quest, so heroic in song, shadowed a price paid in blood. What if the guild's enemy was never outside but within, mirrored in the twins' own veins? The scrolls did not lie, they only waited. The academy's spires, built on hallowed ground, now stood on a grave. Kamura's heritage was no accident, it was a reckoning. The guild's light had always been a cage, the twins its key, but keys turn both ways. The question was no longer asterisk what asterisk they had sworn, it was asterisk to whom asterisk. Hinoa's boots echoed in the hub's stone corridors. Minoto's voice wove calm through the village's restless crowds, twin beacons of order. The guild praised their efficiency. They dispatched hunters, tracked relics, closed breaches with practiced grace, but efficiency has teeth. Their first hunt changed the rhythm. A beast attacked near the border. The guild sent a squad. The twins led it. They returned with a tirai, a fang, jagged and blackened. The hub scholars called it a variant. The twins said nothing. Minoto's reports grew precise. Hinoa's routes grew erratic. Each expedition ventured deeper, closer to the forbidden land's edge. A pattern emerged, not in the guild's maps, in the twins' silence. The village elder noted Minoto's hands trembled when she spoke of cleansing. Hinoa's eyes lingered on the hub's archives, where old names slept. Names the guild erased, names that hummed in the dark. The expedition to Mount Cura was different. The guild demanded supplies. The twins demanded autonomy. They took 10 hunters, not 50. They left no trail. They returned at dawn, blood on their blades and the fangs twin in their satchel. The guild called it a victory, the peel called it courage. Only the twins knew the truth. The beast had asterisk led asterisk them. A test. A summons, a door cracked in, their duties now blur. Are they hunters or heralds, the guild's champions or something older? The forbidden oath does not demand loyalty, it demands asterisk proximity asterisk. The next hunt will take them beyond the lands, beyond the guild's reach. And beneath the surface of Kamura's history, where the first oaths were sealed in fire and the wrong name was never spoken. What stirs when the key turns? The answer lies in the twins' footsteps, always forward, always toward the sound of a cage unlocking. Footsteps echo in the guild's vaults, each choice carves a scar. The twins stood at the threshold, sword or seal, loyalty or silence. One path bound the Kamura name to the 5 lords, the other to shadows that breathe. A pact was made. Not in ink but in the language of absence. The black dragon's name was not spoken. It was implied in every blade Hinoa sharpened, every lock of Minoto's hair braided into a noose. The guild's records show only their valor. What they hide, the twins carried a relic from Shrade's ashes, a shard that hummed with the frequency of a kingdom's death rattle. The five lords called it betrayal, the guild calls it salvation. The truth is a locked room, its key dissolved in blood. When the Shrade spire fell, the Kamura twins did not weep, they knelt, they listened. To the whisper beneath the guild's hymns, the pulse in the stone where forbidden oaths are carved, a legacy buried under layers of sanctioned myth. The guild's scribes work still, erasing every trace of the name that once burned brighter than their own, not a faction, not a lord. A shadow with a heartbeat, its echo trapped in the twins' every motion. The cost, appeals memory, dissolved like ink in rain. The Kamura name, pristine in the guild's chronicles, is a lie polished by grief. What remains is the weight of the choice, to carry a light that blinds or a darkness that remembers. The cage unlocks. The sound is not victory, it is the sigh of a name the guild unmade, and the twins forever its echo. The scroll's Olivia recovered pulse with forgotten ink. The rampage's end was not a victory, it was a handover. Hinoa's mercy, Minoto's resolve, both cast shadows of a pact sealed in blood. The guild's enemies wear Kamura's mask, the twins' quests a facade. The wilderness remembers, the ink whispers of a name the guild erased. Kamura was never saved, it was unmade. The guild's knives cut deeper than steel, they carved truth from stone. They buried Kamura's name beneath the weight of their own guilt. Shrade burned not for failing to kill Fatalis, it burned for remembering what the guild could not let live. The equal dragon weapon's forge was a pyre, every strike of its hammer a dirge for a kingdom that knew the black dragon's true name. The twins' blades gleam with stolen light, their oaths ring hollow, they hunt monsters while the guild hunts memory. What weapon demands a lineage's silence? What pact bleeds a land dry of its past? The rampage was no accident, it was a reckoning. The guild's prohibition is not a shield. It is a shroud, and the wilderness whispers through every scar. The cost of victory is a world where Kamura never was. Where heroes wear masks and the dead have no voice. Only the dragons remember, only the dragons remain. The guild's archives burn with incense of justification. Hinoa and Minoto stride through the ashen wastes, their sashes of quest maidens fluttering like banners of peace. Yet their footsteps echo a pact older than the guild's charter. The Hunter's Guild preaches balance hunt as regulation, not extermination. But the twins' blades carve deeper than regulation. They sever the threads of a lineage bound to the very beasts the guild claims to protect. The scent of elder tomes lingers in the Hall of Oaths. Kamura's heritage is etched in margins the guild dare not erase. A clan that once knelt not to the five lords, but to the Leviathan that drowned their ancestors. The twins' quests are not trials of valor, they are rituals. Each beast they slay, each egg they salvage, unravels a debt. A debt paid in scales to a shadow that coils beyond the guild's maps. The guild calls it preservation, the dragons call it betrayal. Minoto's smile is a blade's edge. She feeds the guild's hunger for relics, her hands stained with the ichor of creatures the guild insists are not villains. Yet her twins whispers in the dead language those syllables that make the earth shudder betray a truth. The Kamura name is a cipher. Their heroism a performance. Every victory a step toward the day the guild's walls crumble and the Leviathan's heir walks unmasked. The Hunter's Guild thrives on the illusion of order. It praises the twins for taming the wild, while their true task is to weaken the barriers between realms. The five lords' enemies are not named in any ledger, but the Kamura twins know them by blood. By the scars that bloom on their palms when the moon bleeds, by the way the dragons watch, not with malice but recognition. What does it mean to be a hero when your victories are another's prelude? The guild's ethics are paper thin. Its hunters see only the surface of their contracts. But the twins see the ink beneath forbidden oath that binds Kamura to a fate the guild has buried. The dragons remember, they wait. And when the final scale is paid, the guild's hymns of order will drown in the roar of what the twins have always served. The twins stand at Kamura's edge, their blades sheathed in twilight. One tends the village forge. The other walks the tide flats, whispering to stones older than the guild. Olivia's 2025 dig unearthed scroll synced in dialects the guild erased. They name Kamura's founders not as loyal vassals, but as negotiators. Negotiators for what? The texts crumble before the answer. Hinoa's quests to the Sunbreak ruins, Minoto's pilgrimages to the Ashen Peaks, both follow trails the guild maps as sacred. But Olivia's scans show those paths align with symbols in the forbidden text symbols of balance, not devotion, a scale etched in blood. The same scale the twins' father, Lord Kamura, sealed his retirement upon. No one asks why the guild permits this. No one notes how the twins vanish longer than their duties require. The scrolls hint at a pact, not a bond of love or loyalty. A pact where both sides pay interest in lives, and when Olivia cross-referenced the glyphs with the 5 lords' oldest edicts, she found a name. Not an enemy, a silence. The twins do not answer letters. The village says they grieve. The guild says they serve. The scrolls say neither is true. What remains then when the hymns fade? The weight of a debt no one dares to measure. Admiral Commander, titles carved in stone, yet their hands hold blood ink. The guild preaches balance, not harm, but Shrade's ashes whisper otherwise. A kingdom fell, a pact rose. Twin blades, twin oaths, one to the guild's hollow creed, one to the thing in the deep that gnaws at the edges of their maps. They wear the quest maiden's mantle like a shroud, Hinoa's sunbreaks light paths to buried things, Minoto's tides carve graves where memories drown. The scrolls of yore name them stewards, the truth names them traitors, every regulated hunt a lie. Every regulated kill a step closer to the reckoning the guild fears. Shrade's bones crack under the weight of unspoken debts. The 5 lords' shadows stretch long, but longer still the silhouette of what the guild erases. Not a rival, a reckoning. The Kamura twins did not betray their blood, they completed it, a covenant sealed in the language of extinction. The guild's hymns falter. What do they fear more, the thing hunted or the thing hunting? The debt is measured, in species, in time. In the slow, inevitable crumbling of every regulated boundary, the mirror shows twins, the truth shows architects, what remains when the guild's voice breaks. The roar of a thing unstitched, a debt paid in the currency of worlds. The Kamura twins walk twin paths zone carved by blade, the other by shadow. Their hymns speak of duty, but echoes in the stone whisper of a debt unpaid. The guild names them quest maidens, yet their trails bleed into older maps. Each sigil they carve, each monster they slay, stitches a tapestry the guild cannot unsee. Did their blades cleave beasts or the veils between truth and erasure? Monsters do not hunger for Kamura, but something does. A presence that breathes in the gaps between records, that feeds on the weight of oaths buried deeper than the 5 lords' names. The twins' steps do not wander, they follow a script written in the same ink that blacked out the previous keepers, a hunt well done. The wilderness remembers, the guild hunts monsters, but what if it hunts its own history? The guild hunts monsters, Kamura, but what if it twins hunts its own walk shadow? Kamura, but what if it twins hunts its own walk shadow, sunlit paths, yet whispers tie their footsteps to a name the guild erases. A pact veiled in light, a betrayal steeped in heritage. Their quests, cloaked in heroism, may hide a truth darker than the guild's secret.